Oh, welcome everyone. It's Andrew Knight here, and we've got a number of the Outdoor Victoria team here today. We've got Andrea looking after us with the presentation. So good morning, Andrea. And we've got
good morning.
Thanks, Andrea. Well done. We've got Robin looking after the chat. So good morning, Robin.
Morning, everyone.
We've also got Andrew Goodday along for the ride, keeping an eye on careers promotions for outdoors. So good day, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone.
And we've got Luke Parker from OV, who at the moment is doing his PhD in outdoor ed in the United States. So welcome, Luke, and you'll have a chat to us later this morning.
Hello, everyone.
Well, we're excited to host our first online industry morning tea for the outdoor sectors for 2022. We've got a lot to cover today over the next hour, so we'll get into it. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we all meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. So a new school year's just started, and with this, the opportunity to take classes outside the classroom and to be used across a variety of curriculum focus areas, we've got some fantastic new outdoor learning toolkits. So that's why we've got Luke Parker here today from the OV team, who will talk about the new toolkits for primary schools, and also we're just starting to get into high schools with secondary teachers toolkits, and they've just been released through our website. Andrea and Robin will just pop that link into chat, so you can go and take a look at those later on. We'll introduce Luke once again, and Luke, really lovely to catch up with you from the USA today, and look forward to hearing all about the toolkits. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. That's a good intro. So hello, everyone. Good morning. It's 4:30 where I am, so not too bad. Still daytime. So I'm going to just briefly have a chat about the primary and secondary toolkit. So I'm just going to share my screen, and we're just going to go through just some examples of those. You may have seen some of these in the past, but we've been able to finish another 6 toolkits that we released about 7 days ago when they got loaded onto our website. So within the 6 that we delivered, we finished the final 2 of our primary series. So within our primary series, we've had a range of different sort of focus areas. So you can see here on your screen just some of those. So we started off with intros, then looked at some environment aspects, then PE, art, geography, science, and into health, sustainability, reading, writing, speaking, listening, and also into Indigenous knowing and knowledge. So last year we finished off the final 3 for this series, but that was music, languages, and we're also in the current stages of combining all of those 17 chapters into a book. So that's what we're currently working through, but we're pleased to have the music and the language version for the primary to finish off our series. So just to sort of give you a brief rundown of how they work if you haven't come across them before, every toolkit will typically start off with the benefits. So we always want to have some peer-reviewed research to show why we want to include outdoor learning within the curriculum, because it shouldn't necessarily be something that replaces traditional education. It should be used to enhance what we're already doing. So they all start with benefits and sort of some tips and tricks to embed in that, and then each toolkit will have example activities. So they all will include at least 10. Some will include a little bit more. But in this document, we've got 10 different music activities. And one of the things that we found really beneficial for teachers is having this curriculum outcome section. So we've linked curriculum to each of the activities. You can see that everyone has sort of different versions. So these are Victorian based, but they can certainly be sort of applied across a range of different areas. So we had music, and then we also had LOTE. So with the LOTE one, we found some activities that can be applied across a range of different LOTE subjects. So we haven't necessarily linked specific, say, Japanese or German. We've more just provided some general links for those. But again, you'll see a range of activities. So they were the primary toolkits. And also, we've just started publishing the first of the 3 secondary toolkits as well. So the secondary toolkit follows a similar path, and you can see our sort of expected plan over the next 2 years of what we'll be publishing each year. But in terms of the secondary toolkits, the first one's looking at what is outdoor learning, what is the difference between outdoor ed, outdoor rec, and outdoor learning, because there's often some confusion across those areas. Then looking at some current research, the benefits of outdoor learning, what are some example research studies that you can engage with, also some aspects on COVID. It's an important aspect with lots of schools now looking at why would we do outdoor learning. COVID's obviously one reason that a lot of schools are looking at it. So there's a whole range of benefits, and these are all peer reviewed. Then the research, outdoor learning, the pandemic. Then we've got a range of tips for launching programs. You can see lots of tips, always more information, the better. How to pitch it to your students and staff. And then from there we go into, I'll just move that bar up. From there we go into the first of the 2 activity-specific toolkits. So we've got a geography toolkit here, which we've worked with Geography Teachers Association of Victoria. The funding for this is through the Strategic Partnership Program. So a thank you to the DET and the SPP for helping fund these programs. That's been really beneficial for teachers over the last 4 years. So this is working with GTAB, and again, you can see range of underpinning research, then some activities, and then also working with ACHPA for the PE toolkit as well. And again, you can see benefits and then a range of different activities. So over the next 12 months, we'll release another 6 of those for the secondary if all goes to plan with funding agreements and everything. But we're very excited to have finished the primary section and then looking forward to hopefully getting started into the secondary section later in the year. But if anyone's got any questions, or if you know schools that are currently using outdoor learning, we're always happy to embed case studies into our work and highlight real sort of world examples of what schools are currently doing, because we find that that's often the most powerful learning that teachers can get when they're reading what schools are doing in that space. So if you know of schools, we're always happy to have a chat to them and always happy to find out more and learn more activities. But yeah, if anyone's got a question, feel free to ask, or feel free to send me an email as well, and I'll type my email address into the chat.
Thanks very much, Luke. Has anyone got any queries for Luke at this stage? Otherwise, you can pop anything or feedback or queries through to Luke via the chat with his email popping up there.
Just one comment. I was talking to Parks Victoria. They've got a new risk management person they're trying to employ. I was talking to the boss, and they don't think many schools realise that they're supposed to register their excursions on public land, DELP and Parks Victoria public land, through the Parks Victoria website. I can't remember which one it is. It's the Park, no, doesn't matter. There's a website they're supposed to register themselves, their excursions, and there's quite a bit of information. That'd be useful to get out to schools, because Parks Victoria are concerned about that.
Yeah, definitely. And there's also, it's been a few years since I was in a Victorian government school, but there's also one that schools have to do when they leave site as well. And I'm pretty sure it says on that if they're going into Parks Vic land to register on that. I can't remember what the exact terminology was for the government one, but I'm pretty sure it does link to the Parks Vic one as well.
Thanks, Luke, and thanks, David, as well. Welcome, David. And yeah, good call out around the schools. And I think that's something that we'll pop in as we head into well into term 1. We'll pop into the newsletter too. So that's just a nice memory jogger for everyone.
Sorry, I just had a question. I came in a bit late. Is that document that you were showing public, so anyone can access that at the moment?
Yeah, anyone can access that. So if you go onto the website, you'll find the 17 primary toolkits and then also the first 3 of the secondary. And you can download them. There's a few different versions in terms of quality. There's one version which is more of a digital one, which won't take as much space. And then there's like a print copy. So feel free to download and share whatever works best with you and particular school. Yeah, that's fine.
And to your question about some schools, there's the school called the Patch Primary School in Victoria that has been doing outdoor learning for a very long time, if you needed a sort of an example. And some a landscape firm called Jevons Landscape Architects, they do a lot of outdoor sort of activation and trying to get kids to play outside and sort of open-ended play sort of thing. So that's another contact. You could probably get more schools through them because they do that as a ongoing thing.
Perfect. Thank you. We worked on the primary toolkits with, I always say it wrong, Balnarring.
Yeah, Balnarring. Yep.
Yeah, so I've worked with them on sort of highlighting some of the fantastic work that they do. They've got a really good range of programs. So we've included that case study, but definitely thanks for letting me know about that one. I'll reach out to them.
And also just you can also jump on right now onto our chat, and in there, Salochi, there's also the link straight to the part of our website where we've got these toolkits. Yeah, enjoy, use, share, and thanks to funding from the Department of Education for those.
That's awesome. That's really good to see.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic, and more to come, which is really exciting.
I'll probably use that link and put it through KIN, which is Connecting Kids to Nature Network that we have in Victoria, which I'm part of. So that sort of could reach other teachers and people who are working with kids in there too. So thanks. Yeah,
we're mates with KIN, so that'd be fantastic. The more support we get across, and as you say, technically because they're more in the early years space, but definitely they're doing a whole lot more as we go forward into the primary space at the very least. So yeah, that's a great call out. So thank you for sharing that across with them.
And it's really good to see if it goes to high school, because I think the high school students are desperately in need of connecting to nature too, especially after COVID.
Yeah, that's right. We're also working with ASHPA, which is effectively the Phys Ed Teachers Association in Victoria, and also Victorian Curriculum and Assessment Authority about what can be done for years 7 to 10 from a formalised perspective around outdoor learning and outdoor education. So we'll keep you posted on all of those negotiations as well. Yeah, because it's definitely a bit of a full stop sometimes when you arrive at a different stage in your schooling.
Sure.
Yep, unless you're lucky enough to go to the Patch or one of those.
Hey guys, can I just ask when we expect the next round of releases for the high schools?
So with that, we're currently waiting on the updated SPP funding. I think we should hear back in the next couple of weeks. So if that all goes and gets approved, we'll have the next 6 out by later this year.
Thanks, Luke. So great to have you here. So what we might do is we might keep moving now. Appreciate if anyone wants to get in touch with Luke, his email's in the chat. So please reach to Luke. But just wanted to touch on the Positive Start program. So that's the Victorian government taking action to re-engage primary and secondary students to boost their physical and emotional health and wellbeing in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic through a $112 million Positive Start in 2022 initiative. So students who attend a government or low-fee non-government school will get a positive start in 2022 with access to additional camps, swimming programs, sports programs, and cultural experiences, with $80 million of that program going towards getting disadvantaged students on camp in 2022. And that's through the term time and also with school holiday programs. OV is going to be assisting the Department of Education to roll out the program with 2 other partners, Australian Camps Association and Christian Venues Association. And we'll have a lot more to connect with you in the coming week or two, as this program is now moving very swiftly towards rollout. So it's really, really exciting, and such a positive step for the outdoor providers and camp operators across Victoria. So we're very proud to be able to facilitate getting that rolled out and getting a whole lot more disadvantaged kids across Victoria into the outdoors in 2022. This is not going to take long, which is really, really positive as well. Any particular questions around positive start? And I'll try to answer them. No probs, we'll keep going. Also, we're really excited to announce that we're back with the Outdoors Victoria Annual Conference. So after a 3-year break, really, really looking forward to catching up with many of you on the in person. So we're excited to announce that the opening keynote speaker for the Outdoors Victoria Conference will be the multi-award winning radio and TV broadcaster Libby Gore, and comedian under her stage name as Elle McFeast. Libby Gore is a bold and beautiful storyteller who's captured the imagination of Australia over many years with a unique and innovative brand of insight, authenticity, hard truths, and humour. With Libby's natural empathy, humour, community building nous, she's the perfect person to set the tone for us over the 2 days of the conference, being Thursday the 26th of May and Friday the 27th of May. So it's hopefully every year from here on in it's the last Thursday and Friday of May. And there'll be a whole lot more coming up in the March newsletter around registrations, some really exciting pieces around professional development across the different streams of the outdoor sectors. Really looking forward to providing some really fantastic networking opportunities for everyone, as well as professional development building blocks. And that, goes right across the different parts of our sectors. So in education, whether it's nature kindergartens, whether it's VCE, outdoor and vulnerable studies, into camp and outdoor providers, across into nature and climate and the impacts that that's having on our operations, as well as health and well-being. So some really fantastic things coming up there. So there's also a link being popped into chat as well, and you can learn a little more on there before we get the tickets out and information about what exhibitors can get up to, which we always are really proud to showcase as well each year. Robin, have you got anything else to add? Because you're front and centre on helping organise this fantastic conference.
Thanks, Andrew. Wow, you put me on the spot. Let me think. So look, this year, as Andrew said, we've got 4 to 5 streams, but we're keeping it pretty simple this year, and just really want to celebrate the fact that we can all get back together. So we're doing our best to keep ticket prices down, exhibitor spaces pricing down, and just keeping it really simple. But we don't even really have a major theme to the conference, but it's more about just unifying the the different areas of the outdoors sector and bringing people back together. So yeah, we're working really hard on just building it now. We've got some really great people convening each stream, so they will sort of own that stream and curate a bunch of, say, 7 50-minute sessions that will run over the 2 days. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a really great opportunity for us to all get back together. And it's a wonderful campus. So yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Thanks, Robin. Yeah, you're right. It's at the Lilydale Lakeside campus of Box Hill, TAFE. So we're right on the lake, looking right out into nature, which is absolutely magic. Now, on a sad note, I'm afraid, Dr. Maddie Wilcock from Nature Stewards, who's part of Outdoors Victoria, and I recently attended the memorial of one of our first Nature Stewards professional facilitators, Rusty Upton. Rusty was only 48 and died after a fairly recent cancer diagnosis. He was hugely respected by all for his environmental knowledge contributions to conservation and his prowess in teaching Nature Stewards participants the value of getting active in and for nature. And a number of Nature Stewards alumni also attended the Memorial Day, which just shows the impact of that 10-week program. Dr. Maddie is consulting now as to how we best honour his contribution and legacy into the future. So we'll keep you in touch on that. And Nature Stewards is really all about local people learning about their local environment. And, you know, we do a lot of work from nature kindergarten through, we've just seen the primary school toolkits now into secondary school toolkits. We've obviously worked for years around professional development for OES VCE teachers. Now we've also got this course on offer for all adults from 18 to 80. So you can join one of the 6 Nature Stewards programs this summer into autumn, where you can learn more about the Victorian and local environment and how to support it at home and locally through volunteering actions. So very exciting program. I've done it myself, as my family have too. Absolutely magic. So there'll be a link in the chat for Nature Stewards. So pass it on to your friends, family. You can see there's a whole pile of different programs coming up scattered across the place. Yeah, definitely pass it on to your friends, family and colleagues. Fantastic real environmental 101, and includes a whole lot around Indigenous culture and land management as well, which we're really honoured to add and have traditional owners as part of the program. Okay, Victorian Tourism Awards. Well, VTIC and the City of Melbourne presented the 2021 Victorian Tourism Awards on February the 3rd and introduced a dedicated award to recognise the resilience of the sector over the past year. The Victorian Tourism Awards have supported the state's tourism industry for over 30 years in striving for excellence. We want to congratulate all the winners and make a special shout out to some members of the outdoor sectors that were nominated or awarded this year. So in the adventure tourism category, Absolute Outdoors and the Grampians Peak Walking Company were a winner of that particular adventure tourism category, which is fantastic. So Adrian Manikas and the gang, you'll probably catch up with them at the conference. Really wonderful to see them up in lights. Also, we've got other awards that were presented for excellence in accessible tourism. So that's Melbourne Cable Park. So that'll be interesting for us to also start to showcase a little bit more around accessible abilities in the outdoor sectors over the next 2 years with some funding we've received from SRV around Together More Active program. So that's another FYI for everyone, but congratulations to Melbourne Cable Park. Also new tourism business, Wilson's Promontory Cruises won the New Tourism Business Award and the City of Melbourne Innovation and Resilience Award. for regional Victoria went to Phillip Island Nature Parks. The Ecotourism Award went to Moonlit Sanctuary Wildlife Conservation Park. And the new Tourism Business Award into silver was the Wildlife Wonders. And the finalist was Urban Surf Melbourne out there at Tullamarine. We also, in the ecotourism space in silver, we had the Alpine Nature Experience. And in bronze, we had the Phillip Island Nature Parks, and the finalists there being Seal Dolphin Swims. So congratulations to all the winners. And yeah, we look forward to catching up with a couple of them at the conference, I'm sure, which will be great. Now, there's also a couple of other bits of news and updates. There's been some work that's already commenced around promotions of careers in the outdoors, and we'll hear more from Andrew Goodday likely in the next morning tea about his recommendations around what we need to do to better promote careers in the outdoors across Victoria. But just a couple of bits of information for you is that we secured some money with a partnership with Careers Education Association of Vic, so the Careers Counsellors in Victoria, who supported us in being able to produce some fantastic resources to provide to every Year 9 in Victoria through their high school careers portal. So that is going to be rolled out rather soon. The Department of Education is obviously rolling that out and are just reviewing all the resources that we've produced to promote careers in the outdoors to all those school children through their careers portal. We'll probably touch on that in a lot more detail as soon as we've got permission to talk a lot more detail about that. But that's a really fantastic initiative that embeds information and some really inspiring ways of learning a lot more about the main careers in the outdoors and how to get into our sectors, how to gain training and qualifications and experience. So that's a really positive step. We've also got a number of careers expos coming up that Outdoors Victoria will be working with a number of different partners to have booths at the major 2 to 3 conferences each year across Vic with careers and promoting careers in the outdoors. We'll obviously work in with Australian Camps Association and Christian Venues Association as well on that. And there's a number of other initiatives to come that we'll get, as I said, Andrew Goodday, who's our careers promotion coordinator, to expand on over the coming industry morning teas and make sure that we get as much feedback into those over the time with all of you as well. So much more to come, because we do understand that there's some real shortages in accessing skilled and qualified outdoor practitioners and outdoor educators. So there's also on the main part of our website on the homepage links to a number of different careers, advertisement sites, as well as some of the more well-visited social sites as well. So that's a really handy place to jump on in. So you've got the ones that probably everyone knows, like Adventure Pro, but there's other sites in there as well. So it looks like Robin's just popped in there that there's a link there. So thanks very much, Robin, for that as well. When it comes to insurance, there's definitely some positive news in that space that we'll be able to share in a bit more detail in the coming months. I was speaking to Affinity insurance brokers the other day. There's some good news there around them being able to encourage a new insurance company into the area, because it has been quite difficult for a number of organisations to gain insurance. we'll, as said, please check in with me if you need further detail on that, just at ceo@outdoorsvictoria.au, and I'll be happy to share more. But definitely we'll get a whole lot more information, probably come back to you in one of our morning teas soon. When it comes to COVID updates, I think we're all pretty much up to our pussy's bow there, but there's also another update there that's been popped into chat as well. Thanks, Robin and Andrea, about that. That's really around an updated guide for camps that was produced by Australian Camp Association, Christian Venue Association, with a little bit of assistance from us. There's obviously a whole lot more to come in that space as well, as we gain further resource as we assist with the Positive Start program. So stay tuned to that area of our website as well. When it comes to the school operations guide that the Department of Education circulates every couple of weeks, we've had a number of long conversations, provided extra information, and provide advice where needed to the Department of Education, who are working with Department of Health on the next guide, which likely is out later this week. And from what I can gather, it's even more well considered, and obviously a real positive for our industry, that we've had a great working relationship over the last number of years, and that's also with the Australian Camp Association and Christian Venues Association, and especially when you compare what's sadly going on in some of the other states at the moment, who in many ways are learning things that the Department of Education in Victoria and our outdoor sectors has experienced for the last couple of years. So stay tuned there. We'll of course provide the news bulletin as soon as the new operations guide comes out, to make sure everyone's got that as soon as they pass that through to us. Just a reminder too that, and this is also quite important when it comes to insurance as well, is that compliance with the Australian Adventure Activity Standard and good practice guides is mandatory for all licensed tour operators under the permit system, and schools, as part of their mandatory excursion registration, when using all public land managed by Parks Victoria or DELP, and things to particularly focus on are around the leader ratios and the group sizes, of course, and also there's touched on there around personal protective equipment in there as well, with what's going on with COVID. So we might just pop in, just in case there's anyone on the call around the Department of Education, because that parkconnect.vic.gov.au site's the one where it's the requirement for schools to register their excursions. So we'll pop that into chat as well. But I just wanted to check in, likely with Robin, just to see how we're going with chat and if there's any particular pieces in there that we need to get to. Robin, thank you.
No, I don't think we've got anything today as yet, Andrew. So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to put your hand up or pop it in the chat and we can forward to Andrew.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks, Robin. We'll just wait another couple of minutes or two, and then we'll likely head off and let everyone get back to things.
Andrew, Cole French has just put in an update, any update on award developments?
Okay, Cole. Yeah, thanks for that. The Outdoor Council of Australia's put out an employment guide recently, That's probably the first step. We might see if maybe Robin can find that on the OCA site. If not, we'll definitely pass that around in the newsletter, Cole, as well. So there's 3 Outdoor Council of Australia working groups, and one of them is around attraction and retention of outdoor personnel. And so there was work done by that particular working group to initially work up a agreed employment guide. Now, when it comes to the longer term space, I think what we'll do is I'll probably take some advice from those particular working group members as to potential next steps. Of course, one possible step is to work on creating an outdoor sector award, but there's a number of cost barriers, but there are obviously some rather large positives on that front too. So I can definitely let everyone know at the next morning tea, and if I've got further advice before then, we'll pop it in the newsletter as well, Cole. Hopefully that helps a little bit.
I'm not getting very far with the OCA website.
Okay, no worries. That's fine.
So we'll
That's
get
fine.
back to everyone on that.
That's fine. That's fine. There's also a changeover of domains and everything else on OCA, so we'll pass that out via the newsletter, I think, Robin, which is coming up relatively soon. Mr. David Chitty.
Yeah, just on awards, I mean, Fair Work Australia has always said, if in doubt, use the Miscellaneous Workers Award in our industry. So there's an award that can be used that Fair Work Australia considers as acceptable. You probably need to pay a bit more than what it's shown, but it gives a good outline of at least an award.
Yeah, thanks, David. Appreciate that. It does look like someone's kindly just popped that in there around the guidance note, employment practice for outdoor organisations. So thanks very much for posting that in, Darren. Appreciate it. Yeah, but there's those particular working groups have taken a long-term approach. There's likely 35 members of those 3 groups. If anyone is interested in joining those particular groups, you can just approach me, and I can see what can be done. But those good people are volunteering their time, but they also have taken the long-term view that we need to have some persistence, perseverance. This is not a short-term type working group arrangement. It's something that's going to go for many years. And with the ultimate aim of significant improvements and change over time. So it won't be a short, sharp splash in the pan for a number of these working groups. I'm involved in the Outdoor Qualifications and Training Pathways group, and we'll be sort of reporting back probably at the conference in May. But there's some fantastic people working on probably 24, 25 different issues that we can turn around into opportunities. And yeah, we'll keep everyone in the loop on those, and we'll obviously be also consulting with the wider sector as well as we go forward with potential ideas of how to improve those training pathways and qualifications as well. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of a background. We are also working at Outdoor Council of Australia, and I've had several meetings recently with the federal government around getting that particular organisation better resource to be able to have a national impact in the more immediate future. So we'll keep you posted on that as well. So thanks, Cole, for your question, and thanks, David, also for your help and Darren's posting. Appreciate it. Anything else, Robin? Otherwise, we might finish up for this day and look forward to seeing everyone in the newsletter and then online next month. And yeah, very much looking forward to seeing you, if you can mark in your calendar, that Thursday the 26th and Friday the 27th of May. Should be absolutely fantastic to see you, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining us today, and please pass some of these links far and wide to your networks. We really appreciate you being here today, and very happy to help you out, and look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thanks. Bye.